This is the AVAX versus the USDT chart. Let us see where the price of AVAX is heading. As we saw before, the $20 region was a good resistance area for AVAX. As soon as this resistance was broken, we saw AVAX move all the way up towards the $60 region. And then we saw a little bit of correction and it dropped back towards the $20 region. So this was the first tap of support. It went up ahead and again came back towards again the $20 to $24 region, which was the second tap of support. It went up, came back towards the third tap of support, and went up and came back towards the fourth and final tap of support. So whenever the support is being revisited so many times, it tends to become weaker and weaker, and finally on the first, second, third and the fourth attempt, this support was broken and it went down towards the 14.4 or the $15 region, and it traded for a while between the $14 to $20 region, and even the $14 support was broken and it went back towards the lower support of $10 region. So for quite some time AVAX was trading between $14 to $10, and as soon as this previous resistance broke and flipped to support, AVAX started targeting again the $20 region. Now once again the $20 region was broken, and as we know that this was an important support which was flipped back to resistance, and as soon as this resistance was broken, AVAX was meant to break out and go and make a much higher move, and that is what we observe. Now let's see till where can AVAX go. Even in this point we can see a bit of a support somewhere around $33 region, and this is one of a major, the previous supports was revisited. So we saw this local high. So let's consider this as the point of the local high to the local bottom, and let's look at the Fibonacci's. So for Fibonacci's, you start plotting the fibs from the local high to the local low, which was somewhere around the $10 region. So we have plotted the fib from the $44 region to the $10 region to see at which point can AVAX head at. So as you can see, the 1.618 fib is very important at most of the times. So once this fib has been completed, so the $1 fib, the one fib has been broken, so it is going to target for the next fib, which is at 1.618, which is the $64 region, and we saw AVAX move up towards that zone. It went up almost towards 60, and then it came back to revisit this $44 region to establish a support. Now there are two scenarios that could happen here. One is AVAX reclaims this support, okay, and we can see some sort of an accumulation zone around this region, and if this support can be established, then we could start seeing a much higher move, and we could see AVAX going all the way towards 64 firstly, then 98, and next towards $132. So this is one of the possibility for AVAX. For that, it needs to reclaim the $44 region, and if it can stay above $44 region for a while, we can start seeing a move towards $64. It could accumulate here for a while, followed by a move towards $98, accumulate there for a while, and a final move towards $132. And in the second scenario, what could happen is this support cannot stay, it breaks, and we see a move down towards the previously formed resistance, which was at around $33 region. So from a trading perspective, you could definitely place your orders at around $33, or you could wait for AVAX to close above $44, see for how long it stays. If it stays above 44 for a long period of time, then you can start adding your long orders here and start targeting take profits at around $64. Same thing you could do at 64. If it can stay above and stay for a while, then you can start longing again at 64 with a target of 98. But if you're longing from the $44 region, $64 could be a good target profit area for you. And if you're longing from 64, 98 could be a good target profit area for you. For day traders, if this support breaks, then you can start shorting at around $44 with the stop loss a little bit above it and the target of around $33. So these are two good points. And on a longer time frame, if this support of 33 also breaks, then we can definitely see a move back towards 20, which seems quite unlikely unless BTC takes a much deeper correction. But for now, AVAX looks good. If it can close above $44, stay here for a while, and then we can start seeing a move towards $64. Now let us start looking at the stock RSI. Now what do stock RSIs is? So whenever a particular asset, it could be a stock or a crypto or a commodity, so whenever it is below the 20 region, as you can see here, this is the 20 and this is the 80 region. So whenever it is below the 20 region, that means this particular stock or asset or commodity has been oversold. And when this RSI starts curving upwards, it's an indication that the majority of the audience has started buying that particular crypto asset in this fashion. Similarly, if the stock RSI goes above the 80 region, then it is an indication that that particular stock or an asset has been overbought, and it means that we could start seeing a sell-off. So if you look at the previous examples as well, so here we saw that it started entering in the 80 region, and then we started seeing that RSI was curving downwards. That means there could be a sell-off that is going to happen, and that is what we observed, which brings us back to this particular point. So now the RSI is in the oversold region. That means majority of the traders have sold AVAX. That means as soon as the AVAX stock RSI starts curving upwards and it starts going above the 20 region, so we could start seeing an upward momentum in the price of AVAX. So if this keeps on accumulating and the RSI starts turning upwards, that means that would be a double indication for us to start longing AVAX at the $44 region. So if you can see that this RSI has started curving upwards, the stock RSI, sorry, has started curving upwards, and the price of AVAX is above $40, it's a good indication for you to start entering into a long position. And as and when it starts reaching the $64 region, we could start seeing a move in RSI towards the 80 region, where we could start seeing this in the overbought region, and then again a small correction where it could accumulate around this region. So that's about the AVAX price. These are the targets that we have in mind. Stay tuned to more updates on more coins. We'll keep on bringing more and more fundamental as well as technical analysis for you on Altcoin Buzz. Avalanche is an open source platform and a layer 1 protocol built for DeFi, applications and other enterprise blockchain solutions. Avalanche helps to trade all digital goods decentrally to become an internet of assets. Currently, around $800 trillion of assets in the world is considered illiquid. AVAX reimagines all digital assets to be part of a larger global finance network. One of the standpoints for Avalanche is their consensus mechanism, which has least latency. It is extremely energy efficient and can support much more number of transactions compared to other consensus mechanisms. Using AVAX, users can digitize any asset considering its features, permissions, contracts, and conditions of compliance. In AVAX, nodes can gossip with other nodes, and the probability of these gossips turn real depends on the number of gossips happening about a transaction or a topic. Really? Avalanche itself is a proof of stake mechanism, but its subnets can be both proof of stake as well as proof of work. AVAX, which is the native token of Avalanche, has an inbuilt deflationary feature and is used for validating each transaction in the network. AVAX was founded by Enjin Serer, an eminent computer scientist and a professor in Cornell University, New York. Emin says, so many academics forget that our goal as a profession is not to publish papers, it's to change the world. His Avalanche is doing the same. It is changing the world. AVAX was launched a year back in 2020, September 2020. Since then, the tech has seen a lot of adoption from individuals as well as institutions. Recently, Avalanche announced a $180 million liquidity mining incentive program to enhance DeFi scalability. Avalanche also has a big community presence, having around 250,000 followers on Twitter, and the recent success of Pangolin DeFi proves that Avalanche is a true force to reckon with. They have some serious partnerships too. Bitmart recently announced a full integration with Avalanche platform. Chainlink price feeds are also running on Avalanche. So this is some of the fundamental parts about Avalanche.